favor. Touch all your seatbelts, touch all your...
Alrighty, folks. Tonight we get back into the swing of things with the Sigma USATrucks, the Western Division tonight from Sonoma Raceway, the road course here in California. Starting on pole position here tonight is the 81 of Daniel Voiles alongside the 20 of Barry Earwall, followed by Noah Hobson and Donovan Heist. Miko Kunez with Haziel Escobar, recently a race winner, that 65 machine. Then it's Matt Yard and Jack Davis, followed by Borat Sagdiev and Campbell Marsh. Bailey Parker and David Dixon, Walker Bacon and Rich Roy, followed by Billy Lovejoy and the 80 machine of Shy Turtle. And it's Kyler Sestre and Gabe McDuffie, Lucas Holmes and John Brinker, Matthew Hubert and Taylor Cording, followed by Santi Messi and Mark Walker. Then it is Jimmy West and the 94 of Paul Ladino, Luis Rodriguez and Spinham Walker, Casey Nonico with Kat Durham, Paul Tabarini and Jamie McMurphy, Chasey Plays and Jakov Rosevich, Chris Jeremio with Jason So, Zach Magoon with the 29 there of Jonathan Sheridan, and tail of the field is Davian West with Roach.
Drivers, start those engines!
So kind of a new one here tonight with road course race with the USATrucks. We have not seen very many road course races in the truck series. The last one was Portland, where we saw the last race. So back-to-back road courses for this Western Division. And today, marking the second in a row, we'll see how they fare here tonight at Sonoma. Always a great race, no matter what. We always have some good action here at Sonoma. And we're green here tonight for 50 laps. Grand distance 100 miles for this USATrucks West Division. Daniel Voiles off to the early lead as Barry Earwall in second. It's a unexpected Sigma doubleheader here tonight, as we'll have the USATrucks with the ARCA series to follow after it. Barry Earwall in second, and then it's third place, the 18 of Noah Hobson. But the 81 of Voiles off to the early lead here in that 81 Ford, leading the way. Kind of a shocker. We have not seen him lead laps until tonight. It seems the 81 machine leading his first laps here in the Sigma USATrucks Western Division out here at Sonoma tonight in wine country, leading the way. And of course, first lap, fastest lap goes to Daniel Voiles after leading the first lap there. 2 laps out of 50, 48 laps remain. This right here is probably going to be the hot spot. That'll be where you'll see drivers trying to make passes, is going down the hill into the turn there. They're not afraid to go off the bumps over the turtle. This is also another high risk, high reward zone to make a pass as you go down into the bus stop, and then the S's on the back side of the track. Once you set yourself up, then it's just kind of defense mode after that. This right here is probably the toughest part to make a pass as you go through the last turn, setting yourself up for the long front stretch of the racetrack here. But it's Daniel Voiles right now leading the way, steadily building his gap to second place. Barry Urwall there and Noah Hobson. At the moment, the Trucks West Division point standings look a little bit something like this. After the win by Haziel Escobar at Portland, he leads the way over Borat Sagdiev, where they are tied for the #1 spot in the points. You have Noah Hobson in third, 28 points back. Kat Durham in fourth. And Donovan Heist in fifth. All your race winners have shuffled to the top, as Borat Sagdiev has 2 wins on the season. But Noah Hobson with 0 wins sits third in the points. Everyone else, Donovan Heist, Kat Durham, and Haziel Escobar, 1 win apiece. All 3 of them in the top 5 in points. Welcome aboard. Hopefully it's not too late for y'all, wherever y'all are tuning in from. A little bit of Sigma after hours here tonight as the USA Trucks West looks to return to action here tonight after a brief hiatus there Monday night. I got done with my iRacing stream earlier tonight, and it's just going to be Stream City Central here tonight as we have the trucks rolling around here at Sonoma, and then a ARCA race, which will actually feature heat races for the Sigma ARCA, the Alpha Division, the Sigma ARCA Alpha Division at Meridian, in Meridian, Idaho, which will be the Idaho 52104. So we'll take only a select group for the Alpha point standings, and then it'll kind of line them up based on their points. And that heat race will depend who figures out going into the main event later tonight. So that's around the corner. Be a little different because Meridian can't host a full field like most of the tracks, and our Alpha Division definitely a stacked field of ARCA drivers. And I gotta go double check real quick on the point standings and get that situation rectified here while y'all are watching the racing action. Not a lot of drama. It's pretty much follow the leader. Daniel Voiles out front, being the snoozer star of the show so far. Yeah, so it looks like I gotta update the ARCA Alpha point standings here, so I'll do that while this race is going, so we don't skip a beat. Lead gap not shrinking a whole lot there, as Daniel Voiles still building a pretty sizable advantage at the moment. No retirements through the first 6 laps here tonight. No real big drama as everyone's pretty much in follow the leader mode right now. Daniel Voiles has led all the laps to start. Fastest lap in the race. It might be the Daniel Voiles snoozer if no one else has something for him here. Strategy could unfold. There will be at least one pit stop here tonight at Sonoma. So there is that, which obviously Daniel Voiles will have to figure out the best strategy call here tonight to maintain this lead position that he's holding so far. Last couple nights I've been busy at work on building my home track here in NASCAR Racing 2003. I'm excited to keep building on it when I have the free time. Free time is a lot slimmer with all the life changes coming my way, but I am trying my hardest to pump out a racetrack that I can have ready for us by next year, probably this time. So definitely an exciting build that I'm more than stoked. It's coming along smoothly. I'm trying to rebuild the track perfectly to every detail, every attention to detail that I can off the real track. I took pictures while I was at the racetrack this past week, and definitely it's starting to look more and more like Tri-City Raceway as it's coming along here. And I am working at it little by little, definitely getting some input and feedback from other people has also been an awesome experience. I've put it out there. Some people can test drive it and give me feedback that way. I am more than willing to send a copy of the track. So if you're in the comment section here wondering if you can, just reach out, let me know, and I can always shoot you a beta copy of the racetrack so you can go out there and turn laps on it too. Right now, no AI. The track is completely bare bones. So the only thing you can really do is go out there in testing session and turn hot laps at the moment, which is fun. For me, I was enjoying just turning laps and trying to get an idea for what it really feels like to drive on my home track, which I've never done before. I've only been in the stands to watch it, and so to have my home track actually building it myself, to get that feel to actually simulate a track that I've been to time and time again, it's awesome. It's a feeling unlike any other, that you can actually put something together. And I'm sure many other people in my area have been hoping that someone would put the track together. I know that that's kind of been my driving force, is that there's enough people out there that have asked for Tri-City Raceway. I've seen it in the NASCAR Racing 2003 forums. One particular reason why people have asked is because when the game was released in 2003, Tri-City Raceway was, in fact, open before they shut down in 04. And at that time, they did run the ARCA West Series, which was in that time the Can-Am Pro West Series, I think was the name. So Tri-City Raceway is actually one of those crown jewels that would complete the game to its 2003 spectrum of the game, which is impressive, I must say, that it hasn't been built yet. And I have taken on the honors, the liberties, to do it myself because it is my home track. I live 10 minutes down the road from the racetrack, and I could go there any day within 10 minutes if I wanted to go check out the racetrack with cars, without cars. It's awesome having a racetrack in your backyard. So that's kind of what's neat with tonight's doubleheader as we head to Meridian, Idaho. That is another local track. It's not my home track, obviously, but it's a Pacific Northwest track, which makes it even more cooler that we've got it on our calendar here in the Sigma Cup Series. Sigma ARCA Series, technically, not the Cup Series, but it's going to be interesting to see how the ARCA cars fare at Meridian tonight. Getting those points tallied up, and I'm going to go ahead and print up the Alpha Division ARCA points so I can reference that when I'm setting up the heat races here tonight. The Alpha Division currently led by 74 of Marcus Shields Kelly. He stepped away from the Discord server, but acknowledged that he would be okay with his driver staying in the field for the rest of the year, as he is currently the points leader fighting for a title. So honor those wishes. We'll keep him in the mix, but we'll see if he can actually close it out. Funny part is Miko Kunis also left our server, and he sits second in those points, followed by Barry Yearwall, third in the points. Caden Unji also pardon me. Caden Unji also left the server. So our ARCA division, definitely wild because most of the people have left the server. Montana Holyfield is the exception to that clause, and of course Barry Yearwall as well. They are both still very much in the server, except for Montana Holyfield, not directly in the server, but directly connected to one of our regulars on the server, which is Snake Pliskin. It is his daughter. And Wormy Wormington, Sarah Robert, Kyle Ottawa, Matthew Hill, and Milano Grimm. That rounds out your top 10 in the ARCA Alpha Division. Those will be 10 of the drivers you see later here tonight fighting at the ARCA Alpha race at Meridian. Well, Daniel Voiles building that gap now over Barry Yearwall in second. Third place, it's still Noah Hobson, and then fourth place, Donovan Heist. We will see if strategies happen to change anything up here, because Haziel Escobar still hanging in the top 5 there. He's got some work to do to catch your race leader. Still not a retirement here tonight. All 40 trucks still out there running. None of them really rough for the wear. They're just trying to soldier along for as many points as they can. Alrighty, I'm back. Had to step away there for a moment. Haven't missed anything though. Riding up the front of the field here, it's still Daniel Voiles leading over Barry Yearwall, Noah Hobson, 26 of Donovan Heist, and the 65 of Haziel Escobar. They're closing in on halfway here today. Still no drama. Looks like the 29's got a little bit of side damage there, but apart from that, no one really steering a wheel wrong yet. Pretty much follow the leader here at Sonoma. Some of the best truck drivers in the field putting on a good show in here tonight. Even if it's a snooze fest of one guy leading all the laps, we do have obviously strategy that will factor in a little bit later here, so we'll see how many changes happen during pit stops, cycling around. But it seems like Daniel Voiles is just out there on a leisurely cruise at the moment. of the neat things about Sonoma here is how their road course is also kind of built into the drag strip that they utilize here at Sonoma for NHRA drag races and stuff. Right there alongside the start finish line, that is the drag strip right there, which at one point I do believe they actually had a split pits where they had pit road on the left and the right for NASCAR back in the day. Kind of a unique circumstance kind of deal where you could have pits cycled on both sides of the racetrack. They have since tweaked and modified the racetrack to accommodate pit stalls in one long continuous row on the racetrack. But yeah, at one point it was broke into two different pit segments. The only other track that's unique in circumstances like that would have been Bristol, where they have, the front side and the back side. I think it's only in recent years that you were forced to enter on one side and wrap your way around. Whereas at one point in time, you just come down one side of pit road depending on the side you were stationed on, and make your pit stops and then come back out. You'd lose a lot less time under green flag circumstances at Bristol that way. Usually you don't see green flag pit stops that very often at Bristol, so it's pretty crazy. I didn't actually get to watch this Bristol race last week, but for Ty Gibbs to get his first ever career win, I'm sure that was a popular race win amongst the NASCAR standard casual fans, diehards, whatever you want to call the group of people that are avid Ty Gibbs haters. Definitely different to see a Ty Gibbs victory. It was one of those deals where he was going to get a win. He's got the best equipment, and like him or hate him, he's a talent. He's capable of winning races. I don't really sign up for all the avid hate that everyone spews. Everyone wants to be hateful and create these negative images of all these drivers that are honestly just people like you and me. If you want to rip on him because he got a free ride because his last name is Gibbs, and whatever, let them do that. It's their prerogative. It's their choice. If they want to put their grandson in a race, and maybe even more so talented than you or me. So I honestly would not be able to hold a candle to any of those NASCAR drivers. That's why I sit here and call the races, because I'm not even really good at iRacing. I struggle so badly when it comes to iRacing that my nickname became Shangler the Mangler. Not a good nickname, especially when you're running at Talladega and you take out half the field on accident. So, well, we're halfway through the race here tonight at Sonoma. It has been a snooze fest with Daniel Voiles leading all the laps so far. Pit stops should be a factor though, so don't just give it away to Daniel Voiles quite yet, but he's built up a pretty sustainable lead here at the moment that it's going to take some very bad calls to lose this race at this point. The race is tracking at about an hour length and distance. Definitely should be over within the hour of distance here today. It's actually crazy to look at something like the other tracks. Now that I've actually started building my own tracks, how daunting it is and looking out here and realizing someone else put all that time and effort into building Sonoma here, down to every 3D object, all the striping, all the textures, the grandstands in the background, everything came down to something. And for me, building Tri-City Raceway like I am now, it's impressive to see what other people have done for the NASCAR Racing 2003 community over this 23-year span. Yeah, no, I can relate to that. Definitely turning off the damage helps a lot if you want to go out there and race and have fun. Because, yeah, for me, I'd probably be on the tow truck all the time. It makes the game a little bit more enjoyable when you can actually go out there and race with them and not tear up your race car too quickly. But yeah, just looking at the racetrack and seeing all the detail and all the stuff they put in it, it's impressive, and it makes me strive to put in that much detail, that much work into building my track. You know, I might not stop at Tri-City Raceway. After I built Moses Lake Motorplex, I was hesitant to get into continuing building tracks. But as soon as I picked it up for Tri-City Raceway, wow, it has been actually a breeze. I didn't realize how easy it was once you actually struggled your way through it the first time, that picking up Sandbox, the track builder, is not as difficult as it felt at first. It definitely drove me crazy at first trying to get it figured all out, but these track buildings might start getting the bug to figure out other ways to build more tracks, as the paint schemes have definitely been one of my marquee things, but track building's the next level. Obviously, I'm not going to go out there and build 500 tracks, but 5, maybe. Maybe I'll work on a couple more to get to my 5th official track. I know there's some folks that want to see Tucson Speedway, and that might be my deal. I might be focusing on short track revival in the NASCAR racing community. Trying to bring in all the short tracks that don't exist in the NASCAR racing track catalog. It would be awesome to add all the ones that I can, that I am capable of recreating faithfully right down to the T. Well, I guarantee you there's going to be some folks slightly fascinated with Daniel Voil's win, as I don't know if anyone really expected to see him this strong out of the gates this season in the Truck Series. 81 has looked unbeatable here today at Sonoma. His pit stop still looming around the corner. He'll have to make at least one pit stop to get it to the finish here today, but his gap for the lead has built up to a full 10.2 second advantage over Barry Earwall. Not even a competition at this point. $19 laps to go. Currently we're at the 42-minute mark in the race. I know for a fact I'm going to be pretty darn busy all week into this weekend, as I have a nursery that needs painted, and then we're going to go do some other fun stuff in town. Try to get all my birthday bonuses, such as like a free drink from the coffee place, maybe a free scoop of ice cream from Baskin Robbins. All the fun bonuses that you get for having a birthday. Gonna go cash in on those this weekend. that's partially why I'm trying to speed through getting the double streams put together here tonight. And even tomorrow night, I think we're going to try to do the Cup race and the Bridge to Cup race. And that's going to be, talk about 5 hours worth of streaming here tonight, 5 hours worth of streaming tomorrow night. Yeah. Crazy. I'm psycho, but I'm going to make it happen. And I'm a little bit tired right now, but we can make it. It'll work. 18 laps to go here at Sonoma. No drama whatsoever. It's been every lap led by the 81 of Daniel Voiles, Barry Earwall in second, Noah Hobson in third, Donovan Heist in fourth, and Haziel Escobar, your race winner at Portland last race, running in fifth. Miko Kunez, Matt Yard, followed by Borat Sagdiev, your driver that's second in the points. Jack Davis running ninth here tonight, and Bailey Parker, your top 10. There we go. First takers down pit road. Daniel Voiles makes his pit stop here on lap 32 with 18 laps to go. Sonoma definitely looks like a track that we could add 46 stalls to. Looks like there's some extra stalls not being utilized here. Lots of potential there. Oh, Voiles having trouble getting out of the pits here. A little bit slow to the roll. He's going to come out anyways without losing too much time. But he's shuffled out right with the lap traffic ahead of him there. That's the 29 of Jonathan Sheridan. Wow, he's now got a 20.2 second lead over Noah Hobson. Donovan Heist up to third. Haziel Escobar drops back to fourth. Miko Kunez fifth. Actually, Haziel Escobar up one spot into fourth. No drama whatsoever. It has been Daniel Voiles at the front of the field. Barry Earwall running in second. Like he made his pit stop right on the same lap as the leader around lap 31. So Daniel Voiles' gap is surely growing here. 81 just off to the races here tonight, taking everything and running with it. And no reason to fully throw a full course caution. There's no wrecks. Everyone's still running, no mechanical failures, no oil down. It is just a very, very slow roll and race here today. Fastest lap still Daniel Voiles. Yeah, it's looking bleak for anyone else that wanted a shot at winning the race here today. Barry Irwall's got the first spot in case a mechanical failure swoops in and takes out the race leader. But even then, that'll be a tough one to lock down. Lap times, though, it looks like Barry Irwall is a full second faster this last lap. He's shrinking that gap, actually, to Daniel Voiles. It's down to 7.77. We'll keep that delta up on the screen. Daniel Voiles, they must have went backwards on the setup or something, because just turned to 118.2, which is a little bit quicker. And even gaining some time still, Barry Irwall just turned his fastest lap at a 118.053. So, not over by any means, and especially now that Daniel Voiles is caught up to some lap traffic here, it looks like that could play a factor in this as well. Barry Irwall trying to out-strategize the 81 team here. So yeah, we'll keep up the screen with the delta there, the distance from first to second. Not a whole lot of difference on when they decided to pit, so it's honestly down to a driver battle right now between the two drivers on equal tires, equal gas, equal footing. Oh wow, Daniel Voiles just turned a 117.939. That's going to be a tough lap to match. And Barry Irwall just turned his fastest lap again, a 118.038. But that's not comparable to the 117.9 that Voiles just turned. Here he is dealing with some lap traffic, though. If he can get around the lap traffic or not wreck the lap traffic, that'd be a good start. Wrangler Silver Bullet Ritz machine there of Jonathan Sheridan. Holding up your leader just a little bit. He's going to have a hard time passing this 29 machine. He's right there. He's going to go around the outside, which is tricky to do anywhere you go, but with the pace that he's rolling, he might not have much trouble. Wow, he blows right by the 29 machine and dialed in a 118.7. So Barry turned another 118.0 down to 6.9 seconds to deficit. And lap traffic, there's more ahead on the horizon here. So Daniel Voiles not out of the woods yet, especially since he's catching the entire lap field of lap traffic now. The only tough part is for Barry Irwall. Once he catches up, he's going to have to get around the likes of Jonathan Sheridan there with quickness and ease, just like the 81 of Daniel Voiles did, to minimize losing much time to your leader. But also at the same time, laps are running out. We are down to just 11 laps to go here at Sonoma. 118.022 was lap time there, turned by Daniel Voiles. And 20 Barry Earwall just barely lost a couple thousandths, couple hundredths of a second. Yeah, a couple hundredths, not much. Went from a 6.97 to a 7.01. His lap times are consistent, but Daniel Voiles is just consistently faster. But here comes some more of that lap traffic drama. And 118.065 for Daniel Voiles. And a 118.227 by Barry Earwall. So very much slowing down at the pace. Seems like the 81's just got a little bit more in the tank than the 20 machine. Here we go. Daniel Voiles gonna have to buckle down and charge through the lap traffic stew. Alrighty, so this lap time is a 118.057 for Voiles. Barry Earwall's going to have to get into the 117s, but he continues to drop now down to 118.313. And now lap traffic is right there. And plenty of it, as Daniel Voiles is going to have to work his way through it. It's going to be tough. It ain't going to be no walk in the park dealing with the lap traffic here. Whoa, he's even given a bit of a bump to the 87 of Bacon. You know, rattling the lap traffic's cage, not something you really want to do as a race leader. Kind of want to be careful and calculated through this situation, that you don't make a mistake and get caught up in a wreck. There he is. He's driving it in there. Whoa, there's a blown engine. 51 mechanical failure for Zach Magoon. That's gonna be a full course caution, as we have yellow for the first time here tonight. Oil down on the racetrack. Blown engine by Zach Magoon. That'll give us a late race restart here tonight. That Should give everyone else a chance to get into the mix here. One shot really is going to be all they've got to try and beat the 81 of Daniel Voiles in a late race restart here this evening. The way it was going, I don't know if I don't think Barry Earwall would have had much of a shot with lap traffic even. So we're going to take this moment to clean up the oil down on track. The driver should be good to go to the finish with the fuel and everything they've got on hand. Let us go ahead and give the wave around to our one truck that's a lap down that did not bring out the caution. And that's another thing too, mechanical failures might become more relevant here. The longer we get to the finish, we obviously saw that first mechanical failure rear its ugly head. So what more could be in store for any of these drivers that have been running since the beginning here tonight? Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in so late. I know it's Sigma After Hours here at the USA Trucks West Division, and you guys showed up here tonight. Much appreciated. Sorry yet again it's so late for those of you on the East Coast or anywhere else in the world. I know it's probably pretty dang late, but 6 of you tuned in already to catch the conclusion of this one. That's pretty awesome. And like I said, I am going for it here tonight, pulling an all-nighter. We will have the Sigma ARCA race right on after this at Meridian for the Idaho 52-104. Lineups will be determined after this race so that the 52-lap heat race will help set the main field for the 104-lap short main event in the ARCA race. It'll be a quick one. It's not going to be a full hour like this one is. Yeah, it's a good idea. Let's disqualify the leader for being naked. It's been one of the paint schemes that's eluded me because I haven't had the free time to paint as much lately, and it was supposed to get painted. I was supposed to paint up a special scheme for his truck, but I just haven't gotten around to it. And Daniel Voiles definitely on another level here from Sonoma. But here's the thing. Double file restarts are so far led by Daniel Voiles. Barry Earwall right there behind him, though, has kept it honest, kept it close. Noah Hobson, Donovan Heist, and Haziel Escobar, your top 5, followed by Campbell Marsh, Billy Lovejoy, Miko Kunez, Bailey Parker, and Jack Davis. The rest of the field there pictured. Lights are off on the pace truck. Just another half of a lap to go, and then we'll be back green here tonight from Sonoma. Doubled up. They'll be getting doubled up in the S's here on the back half of the track. The Chevy Silverado pace truck leading the way under caution here for the first time tonight. Daniel Voiles playing some head games there, kind of slowing up, brake checking the 20 of Barry Earwall. I don't know if Barry Earwall will appreciate that. It's only going to get Barry Earwall more fired up to make this restart count, as the 81 will set the pace, but the 20 could definitely steal the show here. There we go, and the S's we are, and they're doubled up for the restart. That 20 is going to have the inside line heading into this turn, but the outside line going into the straight from the start-finish line. Unfortunately, he is not, since he's in a Ford, so kind of a misconnection there to Al Bunch Incorporated. Al Bunch does have the 8 and the 80 in the field here tonight for ABI. You got the 8 of Campbell Marsh and the 80 of Shy Turtle. 81 was surprisingly an open number, and who knows if Al Bunch may swoop in. He could swoop in and take Daniel Voiles. I don't know if Daniel Voiles has an allegiance to Ford or not, because Al Bunch is with Dodge. But it could be a driver that ABI's got their eyes on for potential future with. Alrighty, we are getting ready for the restart here. Voiles has dominated and putting himself in a category such as an Al Bunch-esque performance here tonight. Oh, and look at that. Barry Earwall with a great start. Gets an edge on the 81. Tough part is he's going to be on the outside going through this segment, but he's going to be on the inside for this segment. Daniel Voiles on the restart here. That is going to blow him out of the water. He falls to second. We know he's got the pace. He's got the speed. Can he get back around the number 20 machine? Barry Earwall is going to be driving that thing like he stole it. Running qualifying laps at the end of a race to try and get the win. His first ever career win. Daniel Voiles also was seeking win number 1 in his career here tonight. So a pair of drivers seeking race win number 1. It's going to come down to a battle right at the end here to get the job done. But for the first time tonight, the 20 machine's actually going to lead some laps here, get the bonus points that are tied to leading laps. All he's got to do is defend, defend, defend for the final 5 laps of tonight's race. And that might be a tall order to fulfill. We got to give credit for the aggressiveness, the the stick-to-itiveness, whatever you want to call it. Barry Earwall made the 81 suffer on that restart. The 81 was playing head games, and those two kind of was in an arm wrestling match there. And I feel like Barry Earwall definitely came out on top of that skirmish, but it's far from over. Now that the laps are getting warm, or the tires are getting warmed up, the lap times are picking back up, that 81's going to be knocking on the door. And it might be a bump and run for the race win here for Daniel Voiles. Or perhaps the 20 will just start to kind of stretch it out here. Kind of interesting seeing the 81 behind for the first time here tonight and how he has to deal with dirty air. He has not had to deal with dirty air once here, other than the lap traffic that he was dealing with. But with a fast truck in front of him, it seems like it might be a bit of a problem. He's closing that gap. He's catching up to the 20, but that window of opportunity still continuing to shrink here to make that final pass for the win. 118.606 to a 118.611. They are on nearly identical lap times at the moment with 3 laps to go. And Daniel Voiles just kind of playing the patience game at the moment, knowing that he's got a truck capable of outspeeding the 20 machine. He's just got to play it cool and wait for the right opportunity to pounce. But he's running out of laps. He's running out of opportunities to make it work. It looks like the big change here, obviously the race lead, but also Donovan Heist up to third. That's really the only big movers here in the race, is our top three have kind of swapped up their places a little bit. Not a lot for anyone else throughout the field making big gains here today. It was a kind of run where you qualified style of event, which often is the case at a road course. In modern NASCAR road course history, not as much, as it seems to be more unpredictable. Stage breaks really add an extra wrinkle to things. I guess tonight with our one caution, that kind of was like a stage break that totally threw this race upside down. But for Daniel Voiles to lead all those laps, 45 of them, and then loses the lead on the restart to the 20 of Barry Earwall, who just put together the perfect restart. I mean, that restart could have gone both ways. The 81 obviously proved that he could get the restart on the inside, on the pole setter, got the start, but for this restart, the 20 actually had the advantage on the outside, which was impressive. And that gap not shrinking enough in the favor of Daniel Voiles, as it's nearly a half-second advantage for Barry Earwall. Just a couple laps left to go here. Deficit's a 0.53, and at the line it is now a 0.63. So Barry Earwall building that gap to second place. All he's got to do is close it out here. A couple laps left to go. And this in its own should be a great points day for everyone involved. But for your race leader right now of Barry Earwall, he sits ninth in the points, 60 points back. He's tied for 8th with Mark Walker. This win should catapult him almost up into the top 5, maybe even the top 3. However, Noah Hobson is 3rd in the points, so he won't be able to catch Noah Hobson quite. But he'll be able to get right about top 5 in the points with a win here today. We're going to keep this up just for another lap, and then we'll turn off all the extra displays. Daniel Voiles, 0.63. As they come across the start-finish line, Barry Earwall sees the white flag. One more lap to go here from Sonoma. His advantage on the last lap, 0.57. So it's going to take a Hail Mary trip from the 81 of Daniel Voiles, and he's going to have to send it. Full send or no win. 81's going to have to make something happen here. The 20 of Barry Earwall, man, how would that feel to get your first ever career win by besting one of the guys that led the most laps here tonight? A late race caution changed the whole trajectory of this race. You can tell the 81 is still faster. The 20 has not been able to get away from Daniel Voiles. But during this stage of the race with the tire degradation, the 20 was running right about the same lap times as 81. So getting the track position was huge. It was a factor worthy of winning this race here tonight. And all he's got to do is make it through a couple more turns. That 20 machine for Trevor Ventures is going to rejoin victory lane after it was the championship winning truck last year with Trevor Vaden. Barry Earwall in his rookie season, you see those yellow stripes, that is him as a rookie. Here in the Sigma, USATrucks gets his first ever career win here tonight from Sonoma. Leading just 5 laps, but that was all that mattered. He led the last 5 laps here at Sonoma, becoming a new winner here on the series. Rookie winner, first time race winner. We've seen a few drivers secure their first wins this year. Actually, all 4 winners are first time winners on the season. Borat Sagdiev got 2 wins, so he is the first 2-time winner this year. But now, Barry Irwal stamps his name amongst the top drivers here in the Truck Series Western Division and is very much considered a threat in the title hunt now, as he's up there in the top 5 in points. He defends and defeats the 81 of Daniel Voiles, who led the most laps here tonight. Donovan Heiss bringing it home third. Noah Hobson with another solid top 5, top 10 finish here. And Haziel Escobar, your points leader, should be rolling out with the points lead still over Borat Sagdiev. Campbell Marsh, Billy Lovejoy, Miko Kunes, Bailey Parker, and Jack Davis, your top 10, followed by Rich Roy, Kyler Sustrate, David Dixon, Shy Turtle, and Matthew Hubert, your top 15. So there you have it, folks. Congratulations to Barry Irwal on getting the race win, his first ever career Sigma USA Trucks win. Only one retirement here tonight. Zach Magoon with the oil down on track, bringing out the one caution of the evening. And the big upset restart that gave Barry Irwal his first ever career win. What a good way to end out the race here from Sonoma. So that is race 6 of 13. We're just right at about halfway of the regular season here in the USA Truck Series, where the West and the East will meet up for the chase later this year. 6 ways into the West and what will be 6 races into the East next week. And how neat is that to actually have the guy that won the race tuned in and watching the race? That's like the perfect scenario right there. Great night to tune in and catch your car, your truck, your driver get the job done. Way to go. So Barry Irwal, rookie and a race winner this year. More than likely going to be one of many rookies, as that's already a couple rookies this year with their first career race win. We'll be rolling into the Eastern Division next for the USA Trucks, so the West Stars won't be back for a while, 2 weeks removed. Next up is Nashville for the Music City 161 with USA Trucks East Division. But of course, we're going to cap out tonight with a doubleheader with the Sigma Arca Alpha Division, as I am hitting the wall with my sleep. But thanks again, everyone. Hopefully you all enjoyed the broadcast. Congratulations yet again to Barry Irwal. And we'll see you in the next stream. This is